In this lesson, we will be looking at taking equations and solving them for a specific letter or variable that it tells you. So you need to know that in these equations, you will not get down to having a numerical answer, okay? All you will be doing is manipulating an equation that I give you and making it look different so that it is solved for a specific variable. You will not get it down to something like x equals 3, okay? Your answer will still have variables in them. All right, so in this very first equation, I'm going to take what I gave you, ax minus b equals c, and I want to solve that equation for x. So what that means when I say that I want it solved for x is that I need that equation to say x equals and have every other variable on the right side of that equation. Okay? So if I want to solve for x, I need to move everything that's with that x. So the first thing I want to do in this case is I want to move this b right here. I need to move that to the other side. I'm not going to move the a. That would come next. If you think about having a number in place of a, like if it said 5x minus 7, let's say, you would move the 7 first. So same thing here. I'm going to move the b. I will do the opposite of subtracting b, which is to add b. So I will put that on the other side. That drops. On the left now, what I have left is the ax. And on the right, I have c plus b. Of course, it's best if you can list things in alphabetical order. And since you can add in either order, c plus b is the same as b plus c, just like 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. I am going to make this be b plus c first. Okay, so now I still need to get this x that's right here solved by itself. Okay, the x needs to that equation needs to say x equals. So I need to move that a that's out in front. And so you're going to do, right now it's a times x. I will do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. If I divide the left side by a, I have to divide the entire right side by a. So your equation, in the end, will look like this. Okay? Notice I don't have a numerical answer. Also, I should tell you, the other thing that you could do if you were right here is divide each term by a. So I could take that and divide it by a, that divided by a, that divided by a, so that it looks like this. Either way would be fine. I would prefer this method over here, but this one would be okay as well. Okay? All right, so in this one, again, you want to solve for that variable x. So you will need to move everything that is not with the x, so, or next to the x. In this first case, I am going to subtract 2 because I want to get that parentheses isolated. And then I have x plus f equals j minus 2. Okay, and then I will subtract f. And then I will have x equals j minus f minus 2. And you might have it as j minus 2 minus f. You might have it as negative f plus j minus 2. So you can kind of play with the order on that, but it should look something like this. All right. Here we want to, again, solve for x. So right now I have x times the quantity 1 plus y. There's a little multiplication symbol in here. And I need to get this by itself. So if you were to think about this, having 5x equals something, and again it's multiplied, if you had 5x times something, to solve for x you would divide by 5, right? That's what you would do on both sides. Well here, it's the quantity 1 plus y times x. So to get that x by itself, you need to divide by the quantity 1 plus y. That whole quantity drops, and then you have x equals z over 1 plus y. Or you might have y plus 1. Either way is fine. All right, getting a little trickier. Oops, I think our smartboard file, when it updated, got a little funny here. Hang on just a minute. All right. this is what it should look like. So um, we have this formula that we want to solve for h. So the first thing that you want to do on this one is you want to probably get rid of the fractions because fractions are really not very much fun to deal with anyways. So right now this thing is being divided by 2. I will do the opposite of dividing by 2 and I will multiply that side by 2. And if I multiply the right side by 2, or yeah, of course I have to multiply the left side by 2. So these are going to drop, and then I will have 2a equals h times b plus c. Okay? And again, it's h that you want to get isolated. This is our magical one. And right now I have h times the quantity b plus c. I need to get rid of that quantity b plus c. And so to do that, I will divide by the quantity b plus c. That will drop out, and I will have h equals 2a over b plus c. And that's what that should look like. All right, a couple more here. In this one, I want to solve for t. Again, t's in the numerator, but you want to get rid of that fraction. So I will multiply by 7 so that I can get rid of that fraction and not have to deal with that. The 7's will drop, and I will have 6c minus t equals 7b. And I'm trying to solve for t. That's my magic 1 here. That's what I want to get by itself. So I need to move that 6c first. So I will subtract 6c. And then I have negative t equals 7b minus 6c. That's what negative t equals though, and I need it to say positive t. So I need to divide everything by negative 1. When you divide by negative 1, what that really does is it switches the signs, but you need to switch the signs on everything. So 7b divided by negative 1 gives you negative 7b, and negative 6c divided by negative 1, and negative divided by negative gives you a positive 6c, and so that's what that one should look like. All right, this one you need to solve for f. It is going to be really tempting to add 32 to both sides first. But on the right side, it's not simplified as much as it can be. Okay, so you cannot add 32 to both sides first because that 5/9 has not been distributed. So you need to distribute the 5/9 through first. So 5/9 times f is 5/9 f. And then 5/9 times negative 32 is negative 169ths. Okay, now to get f to one side of the equation, you can add 169ths. Okay, so then I will have c plus 169ths equals 5/9 f. All right, now, when you want to divide by 5/9 in front of that f, because that's what you want to do, you need to remember that dividing by 5/9 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. And the reciprocal to 5/9 is 9/5. So I need to take both sides by 9/5. On the right side, those will just drop. On the left side, be careful because you're not just taking 9/5 times c, you're taking 9/5 times that whole side, or 9/5 times the quantity, c plus 160 over 9. Okay? And now what will happen is if you distribute this back through, you will have 9/5 c, and then 9/5 times 169ths, the 9's will cancel, and 160 divided by 5 is 32. And that will be what it looks like when it is solved for f. All right, we are almost done here. Okay, now we want to solve this one for y. So I want to subtract v. And I have 2/3 y, whoops, equals s minus v. Again, dividing by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by 3/2. So that's what I will do to both sides of the equation. Okay, now if the left side is there, okay, a lot of people will write this 3/2 s minus v. But remember, you're taking on that right side 3/2 times the whole entire side. So you're taking 3/2 times the quantity s minus v. Okay, so you might leave it like this, or the other thing you could do is distribute that through and have it as y equals 3/2 s minus 3/2 v. Either way is fine. All right, so then we've got this last formula, and it is a formula that says E equals I times R. E is voltage, I is current in amps, and R stands for resistant in ohms. And it says to solve the formula for R first. So in order to solve this formula for R, I would divide by I, and R equals E over I. Okay. And the next part says a current of 0.25 amps. So 0.25 amps is I. So this right here is your I. Flows through a resistor connected to a 12-volt battery. So voltage is E. Okay, so 12 volt. This right here is your E. And it says, what is the resistance in the circuit? So resistance again is E over I. And so your E is 12 divided by your I, which is 0.25. And when you take 12 divided by 0.25, you get 48. And notice that your resistance, the unit for resistance, will be in ohms. So make sure you label that. And that should do it.